You know, if we get a 2020 August Nintendo Direct, I really hope Nintendo has something for us this time. The last one was a mini Nintendo Direct back in July, and the really only noteworthy Nintendo Switch trailer shown was Shin Megami Tensei 5 and that Persona remaster. Come on Nintendo, we really want to know what other new Nintendo Switch games you have for us. Show us your cards, please. Hey guys, it's Rob here, and welcome back to the Robo Show, where we cover the latest gaming news, leaks, and rumors from Microsoft, Sony, and Nintendo in 2020 and beyond. If you want to be kept up on the latest gaming news, make sure you click that red subscribe button below this video and that notification bell so you know when I upload. In this video, we're going to go over a Nintendo rumor / Nintendo leak about an August Nintendo Direct, which is very different from the King Zell Nintendo leak, but the two may have some connection between each other, as well as what Nintendo Switch games could we see at this August Nintendo Direct, and maybe, just maybe, the exact Nintendo Direct date when you put two and two together. It's time to put on my detective hat. So Nintendo must really have a lot of huge Nintendo Switch games backed up for us when it comes to Nintendo Switch in 2020 and even Nintendo Switch in 2021. Despite the virus, I don't think this would be enough to have Nintendo at the very least not tell us some of these games. As we have seen in the past year, Nintendo is able to throw mini Nintendo Directs like the July mini Nintendo Direct Partner Showcase together. They showed the Super Smash Bros. Ultimate DLC with Min Min, and even said in the July mini Nintendo Direct that they will be doing more mini Nintendo Direct Partner Showcases, which is a clear indicator that they can hold presentations and tell us what's coming with the current way the virus is affecting Nintendo's development and overall workflow on Nintendo related projects. Or I would assume anyways. Now there are many Nintendo Switch games that we know for certain that are coming to the Nintendo Switch platform, like Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild 2, Pokemon Snap, and Metroid Prime 4. Now those we don't really have a lot of information or trailers or gameplay at all on these big games that are coming to Nintendo Switch, so I think it's about time we hear something on this. And not only that, but we don't have a lineup for Nintendo Switch games other than these games. It would be fine if we did have other games that we knew were coming, but we don't really know what's coming after Paper Mario and the Origami King, which is already out. Now of course there is still some indie games and third-party games and second-party games that are coming, but none of the big Nintendo Switch games. Not to mention holiday 2020 is coming up very soon, so unless Nintendo wants to have no big hitters this holiday and not set up anything, which would both be financially destructive and make the Nintendo Switch lose its amazing momentum that it has right now, Nintendo will have to say something about Nintendo Switch games in 2020 and 2021, or at the very least up until holiday 2020. Now whether some of those games are games like the Super Mario 35th Anniversary games that include games that I've never played or finished like Mario Sunshine or Mario Galaxy, which by the way I would love to play those on the Nintendo Switch, so I really hope they're true. Or games that we already know of like Bayonetta 3 and No More Heroes 3, which is third party. That doesn't even include the first party games like Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, Pokemon Snap, which I think that's considered either a first party or a third party. Bandai Namco is making it, so I'm not 100% sure. But Metroid Prime 4 2 and all those kind of games that are coming to Nintendo Switch. Nintendo has to show something soon, not only for us, but those investors that are not too happy for the lack of announcements for Nintendo Switch games in 2020. And even though Nintendo wants to keep the player base happy, I'm really sure that they want to keep those shareholders happy too. And you know, for a while now, we haven't been hearing anything from Nintendo, and it's kind of starting to drain my battery. You know, the last video this did not happen, and I was hoping it wouldn't happen this time, but unfortunately it has. The power has gone out again. Hold on, let me find a switch. Now where is that thing? There's the Switch. Now it seems that we could be in for some new Nintendo Switch news very soon via an August Nintendo Direct, which was previously rumored by King Zell and hinted by Kelios, who said the Nintendo Direct was split in two. For those who haven't heard yet, Jeff Grubb over at VentureBeat has tweeted out a schedule of gaming events that are coming very soon in the past couple months, like he has done for the past couple months. Now this means that Nintendo has some sort of announcement between those two dates. Now this was after the King Zell leak, a very reliable source when it comes to Nintendo leaks and rumors, and this is what that leak says, which might have to do with what Jeff Grubb is saying. Wait until August, nothing this month. There's another thing before the main event. I'm talking about Direct. I don't know about Twitter announcements. Now you probably want to know the exact date of this wild card, and Nintendo may have outed themselves already on that date. So there's going to be a maintenance for the Nintendo Switch Online eShop on August 19th. There have been many times where Nintendo has done updates to the Nintendo eShop after a Nintendo Direct for any demos, new games, or other things that they announced during that Nintendo Direct. Now this could be nothing, but if it does have to do with an Nintendo Direct, we could be seeing more than just a couple announcements like the mini Nintendo Direct in July, and here's why. If you're announcing Nintendo games that are out now or have a demo or have some sort of sale that you announce that happens during or after that Nintendo Direct that amounts to enough announcements that you need to make changes to the eShop, you would probably have to start up a maintenance on the Nintendo eShop to make those changes. Even if those announcements are not games that you can buy right away but are up for pre-order or preload. Because the eShop does have a coming soon area if I recall, and they do have portions of the shop that are not used for buying games but for preloading or just a reminder to say, hey, this game is coming soon. But then the question becomes, what changes are needed then? What games are going to be shown that needs a change for the eShop? Well, I can actually take a guess or two based on some interesting Nintendo Switch news that we've gotten, and yes, we have actually gotten some sort of news recently. Not from Nintendo themselves, but still Nintendo news. Recently, No More Heroes 1 was rated for the Nintendo Switch in Taiwan. Now, this happens a lot to a lot of games and isn't exclusive to Nintendo games. Usually what happens is we hear something is getting rated or renewed for its license, and later down the line we get that game. A while back in one of my videos, I said I would not be surprised if No More Heroes 1 and No More Heroes 2 comes to Nintendo Switch alongside No More Heroes 3. The very same thing happened with Bayonetta 2 if I recall in its previous game. Or technically game, I guess. Now this is only a rating for No More Heroes 1, but I would not be shocked again, like I said before, if we saw a bundle with both 1 and 2 at the same time around the release of No More Heroes 3, which actually has been in development for a while now, so this could mean that the game could be coming out fairly soon in the next coming months. But that's just a shot in the dark or a guess, so don't take that as fact. Now other than those Nintendo Switch games, if we do get a full Nintendo Direct and not a mini Nintendo Direct partner showcase, we will get updates on long-awaited games like Breath of the Wild 2 and Metroid Prime 4, hopefully. Now we might not get all the updates on all the Nintendo Switch games that we want, because Nintendo still might want to hold some cards to themselves, but I think we will have Nintendo Switch games to look forward to, because Nintendo has to set up holiday 2020 and has to say something about upcoming Nintendo Switch games in an era where promoting your games can make or break a launch, depending on the game, because certain properties like Mario and Zelda sell a lot of copies. Now speaking on a bit of those Super Mario 35th Anniversary games, if they do not show up at the next full Nintendo Direct, which I hope they do, I'd love to play these games, it would severely lessen the chance of those rumors being true. Because if they were true, I highly doubt Nintendo would want to wait on those huge Mario games for the Nintendo Switch and have them not ready for 2020. And then after those, they would release bigger games like No More Heroes 3 or Bayonetta 3 or one of those. And that could hold us over to 2021, where we would get more games that we've been waiting for, like Breath of the Wild and Metroid Prime 4. Hopefully anyways. So if they're not there, you may want to lower your expectations even lower than they already are for those Mario rumored games. Now of course remember, take all of this, everything I've said in this video with a grain of salt. This could be fake, this could not be true. Do not go into these rumors and leaks and things that other people say and other YouTubers or even reputable leakers and think that it's 100% certain, because with all leaks it is not, and you will get your hopes up. So again, do not believe in these rumors just yet. Consider them fake until they become true. If you couldn't tell, I'm trying to downplay these rumors so you guys don't get disappointed. But as I've stated before, Nintendo would be making a huge mistake both financially and with the shareholders and the Nintendo Switch install base if they had no games for the rest of 2020. I mean, could you imagine how disastrous that would be? Bravely Default 2 is set for 2020 and has no release date yet, so you would think that a release date that's going to be in 2020 would be announced soon, possibly at a Nintendo Direct, or I hope so anyways. There's always a possibility of them announcing it on Twitter, just like the Paper Mario and the Origami King, which, speaking on that game, you can only hold people over so long with that game. Nintendo, come on, tell us something. And by the way, if you want to support the channel other than likes, comments, and subscribing, you can also support me on Patreon, which link to that will be in the pinned comment below, and you can also follow me on Twitter, which that will also be in the pinned comment. So what do you think? Do you think we'll get an August Nintendo Direct? Do you think it would be crazy not to set up something soon? Tell me your thoughts in the comment section below, and if you enjoy this video, subscribe to Robo Gaming for more gaming news. Thanks for watching guys, and remember, stay safe, stay charged, and have a good one.